Hey guys, welcome again to the Wrestling Guy Presents. And Butchie, I got you a guest today. He was upset with us last week. You remember?
Well, you had a few people upset last week, so be a little more specific.
Well, he got upset because we bumped him for a girl.
Oh.
Ray's took his spot last Tuesday.
Oh, well, again, I would have to call Ray's in, but who's the guy? Fill me in.
He's one of your favorites.
I have a lot of favorites.
Oh, my God. I'm only talking about the Russian, Sasha.
Sasha!
Comrade, you act like you don't know me. No wonder you bumped me for a woman. In Russia, the man is superior to women.
So I agree with you so much, and you know what? I applaud you, and I'll even do a little standing ovation with you, young man.
He's horrible. He's the one that wanted you bumped.
What a dick. You're an asshole.
Hey, I'm sorry, Sasha. It's a Latino in me.
You bring on this green woman. This baby shit green in the business. Never beat anyone.
Did you say baby shit?
Who did she ever lose to?
Oh, goodness. I could tell it's going to be a long one.
You know, I'm 1-0 against Brian Kendrick, and he's 1-0 against Brock Lesnar. So that makes me 1-0 against Brock Lesnar. Oh. That's who I am, comrade.
Oh, my goodness. We're in for a ride.
We're in for a ride.
Are you sure there's no vodka in that water?
It's all vodka.
It's all vodka. That's what I thought.
That's my kayfabe water vodka.
So what's going on with you and Shay?
You know, comrade, it is like the Russian-Cuban relationship. Russia is superior to Cuba, but Che, he's trying to be the top dog. He's trying to be the alpha. I need to put him in his place. You know, lately on the Hollywood gimmick, you know, he's costing us matches because his big head gets in the way. It's so big. Have you seen how big Che's head is? He can't even walk through the door. It's so big.
Well, you know what? I mean, you may say he's a big head, but you know what? He is a big individual too, Sasha. That's all.
He's a big guy, but you know that big head. He's all off balance. He trips over his own feet because
oh my goodness,
he can't balance his big head. He's like a big bobblehead.
Oh my goodness, Che, this is Che. I'm trying to help you here, so maybe next time you could come by and you could speak to Sasha about this. But anyways, what are we going to expect with you and Shay? I mean, are you going to have victory over him? Or are you going to try to injure? Are you going to put him out of wrestling career? I mean,
you know,
what's Sasha's up to?
He gets out of hand.
I still think Che. I consider him one of my closest friends. You know, but like I said, it's like, you know, in the Cold War, Russia and Cuba, we're comrades. You know, we had their back in the Cuban Missile Crisis. You know, the Cuba knew their place. You know, but Che, he's getting a little uppity. He thinks he's the top dog. He thinks he's a big shot. You know, and it's costing us matches. We're always losing at Hollywood. I don't know if you watch the product. Do you watch the show?
I have not watched it. It's too late. You know, I got to get my beauty sleep.
What about the DVR, comrade? Come on, get with the times.
You know what? I still own a VHS VCR.
Oh, come on, Conrad. What are you doing? This is 2015. Get the technology. Let's go. You're like a third world right now.
Pretty much I am right now. But you know what? David here.
Don't try to change the subject.
Well, you know what? I mean, I feel pretty left out right now because I'm third world country here. Telling me now. What am I supposed to expect? I mean, Che, call, say something.
Yeah, come on, Che. I know you're lurking on the Facebook, liking posts. You never post yourself, but you always like when people talk shit. You know, I always see you liking things, but you never talk. Come on, comrade.
He's a liker, huh?
He's one of those lurkers on Facebook. He's with his popcorn. He's watching the comments, with popcorn, but he never says shit. You know,
easy pickings.
So and you're also on the AWS show coming up, right?
No, not on the AWS part. Kayfabing me. You know, I think Che said, I don't want Sasha as my tag partner. He's outshining me. He's making me look like a pussycat. So just don't tag him with me. Tag him. He's tagging with some lower, less talented man. I don't know who he is. He's some nobody. But yeah. You know, Che, he's threatened by manliness. He's not hairy. I don't know if you noticed. He has no hair on his body.
No, I mean, I've seen you. I mean, you're intimidating. I mean, don't take this offensive, but you are a little Sasquatch.
Well, the ladies love it, comrade. they love the hairy bear man. You know, they go nuts. They're crazy. The rats are crazy for the hair.
Oh, there you go. I mean, no wonder you guys are always nice and warm then, huh?
Exactly, comrade. That's why we can live in the cold. It's adaptation. It's evolution. I'm on another level of evolution.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. Are we gonna see you with a hot Russian girl?
You know, maybe I've got a couple ladies. You know, I don't want to kayfabe. You know, comrade. Don't want them to know about each other.
Well, let me ask
know.
you. Well, let me ask you this: how do you feel about Lana?
Oh, Lana, you know, she was with that pussycat Rusev. He's fake Russian. He's not really Russian.
He's Romanian, I believe.
No, he's like Bulgarian,
Bulgarian.
which is
Oh,
like
Bulgarian. There you go. Budapest.
It's the red-headed stepchild of the old Russian republics. They're all pussycat bitches in the Bulgaria. They wish they were Russian. That is why he's trying to, you know, perpetrate like he's a Russian. He wears the medal. He thinks he's a strong Russian man, but he's a pussycat.
Okay,
You know, that's
Sasha.
why he lost his Lana.
So let me ask you this, Sasha. I want to talk about the early days of baby Sasha. Well, Sasha growing up. When you were growing up, who was your mentor when as pro wrestler? Was it Nikita Koloff? Was it
Nikolai Volkov.
the Bolsheviks?
My hero was Koloff. You know, he was a strong Russian champion. He was world champion. He brought the pride home to Russia. He brought home the gold. He was my role model, is what you say, right? That is the phrase, the role
Yes.
model. The man who really took me under his wing was my close brother, my shoot brother, Alexis Darevko. You know, he brought me up in the business, taught me how things are, how things work. He taught me about kayfabe and all the good stuff about wrestling. You know, he's my brother. I love him to death. I owe everything to that man.
And because I've had a confrontation once with you. I think it was LCW, and you were a tag team with Alex. And I remember you guys beat the shit out of me with a chain.
Yes, we beat the shit out of a lot of brown people in LCW.
It was in Mexico's backyard at
yeah,
Pedro Infante Street, and
Yeah,
I was just like, "Oh my goodness, what
The
are people
brown
gonna think
people
about?"
didn't like us too much. I don't know why. You know, we're manly men like
Because
them.
you guys are such big cheaters. What do you expect?
We didn't cheat. Or, you know,
You were kicking Slaughterhouse's ass, and I was just like, "Okay, I can't take this anymore." So I go in the ring, and Alex dips, and you just come from behind, and then you just whack me with the chain, and that was it.
Hey, comrade, you got in my way.
Oh.
So you Slaughterhouse, those guys are pussycats. You know, we had to kick their ass, and you tried to help them. So I see you as an enemy. You know, the friend of my enemy is my enemy.
But now you know what happened to my wrestling career. That's why I'm sitting here now.
That's why you're sitting here next to me. Wait a minute, you actually wrestled?
Oh no, let's not go there again. Will you? Jeez.
Were you baby shit green, comrade? Did you shit the bed?
Yes.
I was shitting red. I was very pissed that day as well. So, anyways, are you still do you still keep in touch with Alex?
Yes, he wrestles in Sacramento. He's based in NorCal, so I don't see him too much. We keep in contact over the Facebook. I am the champion of his promotion that he runs up. It's Ashen Coast Empire. I'm the unified champion for his company. But right now we're on a little break.
Mhm.
We got the TV show he's worrying about. He's trying to put together a show.
Oh, nice.
He's very busy doing that, editing. He's a talented man, multi-talented.
Oh my god!
Yes.
I remember when you guys are together. You guys are amazing. I mean, they are intimidating. It's like for me, it's like watching the Powers of Pain or Demolition, but big giant two Russian guys right there. These guys pull out the strings really well. So, yeah, I mean, you get the crowd going.
We like to stomp pussycats, and people like to see that.
Why do
So,
you call them pussycats? I don't get it. I mean, fill me in here. Why
well,
pussy? I mean, what you got something against pussies?
No, I love the pussy.
I mean, I like
The
pussycats
pussy is
too.
my favorite.
I did
You
you
know?
pet it?
I always pet the pussy. Sometimes lick the pussy, you know, fondle it, touch it, tickle it. Lots of things you can do with the pussy.
No wonder my cat likes me a lot.
Maybe that's what.
Well, because I play with it.
You got to get the pussy purring, comrade. You get the pussy to.
Oh, you know
in
what?
good shape.
You got to share some.
His cat's the only pussy he
I've
gets.
got some secrets, comrade. We'll talk after the show.
Absolutely,
I don't
yes.
want
Too much.
I don't want to give away my secrets to all your listeners. They don't deserve it. But I'll give you a few bones. I'll throw you a couple.
Let me ask you this: Are you guys going to have like a reunite tag team here in SoCal?
You know, it depends on the promoters. You know, a lot of promoters are dumb. They don't like to book big, strong wrestlers. They
Mhm.
book little, skinny pussycats. You know, and they don't like the big, strong Russian man. So and Alexis, he's kind of
He's a big boy.
he's a big man,
Yeah.
and he sometimes he asks for too much money. So
Oh, Alexis.
so a lot of promoters don't want to pay big, strong Russian man to beat up their champion. So we don't get booked a lot as a tag team anymore. We are beating too many people up, I think. And promoters get scared that we're going to take out their boys, because every promoter, they have their guy. They have their guy that they're pushing. They want him to be the strong guy in the company. And when we come in, we're a big, strong man. We're alpha males, so it's threatening to their boys. And I think that's why we don't get a lot of bookings down here as a tag team.
Well, how do you feel like, okay, it's like I will put my money on Sasha and Alex against the Revolution or that
Revelation.
The Revelation, that new group.
Yeah, what does the Russian think of the Revolution?
What do you guys think of them? Since it looks like they're dominating here in SoCal.
I wouldn't call it dominating, comrade. They're at a lot of what is the word? Like half-assed promotions. They're not really dominating the big promotions. It's like the little like Sunday afternoon lucha promotions. They're there, and all those guys, none of them are on our level. So I'm not really worried about the Revolution. They're doing good things. I'm not going to shit on them. I like Captain Comic-Con. He's good on the mic, but they don't really pose a threat. That's why I don't.
No match to you. Huh?
No, not at all. Tornado. He's past his prime.
Right.
Who else is in it? It's Tornado.
Then you have a hog in there.
Warhog. I don't know who he is. He's trying to be heady like me.
Yeah, he has your height.
Just
You guys
doesn't have
pass
the head.
like brothers, except he has a
No,
mask on.
I wouldn't go that far, Con. He's not quite as heady and not as manly, and he has to hide his ugly face. I don't have an ugly face, as you know. The ladies, they love my face, so I have to show it. I can't put the mask on my beautiful Russian face.
Now, do you get like a lot of Russian Barbies at you? Like a lot.
I have to beat the rats off with a stick,
Yeah.
because Ray Rosas, he says I have a cheese dick. It brings the cheese dick. It brings all the rats, so I have to beat them off with a
Oh my
stick.
goodness! Well, that's Ray Rosas for you then.
He's a great.
Oh no, he's amazing. That's another hairy dude. I mean, well, he's got very.
He's got beard.
He's got a big beard.
Not his body, not so much.
Is that what turns you on? Because
That
you guys
doesn't turn me on.
I mean,
no,
because you guys
no.
have something in common. Because you guys have beards.
We're just we have an understanding. We've gone toe to toe in the ring a few times. We have a mutual respect. I feel like he's one of the best wrestlers around in this area, so I have a respect for him. We've partied a lot too.
Yeah.
Kayfabe.
Of course.
Let me ask you: is there somebody in the somebody in the ring you haven't been with that you would like to be with?
Oh, that's a good question, comrade. Probably the top guy on my list is Joey Ryan. We started around the same time in the business. I took a little hiatus, a little kayfabe away for a few years. He got really big, started doing big things. I feel like he's probably the top dog in the area as far as talent and popularity. I would really love to wrestle him. I feel like we would have a great match, put on a good show for the people, and I feel like I would beat him. So I'd really like that feather in my cap to beat Joey Ryan.
He's a big Angels fan.
Yeah, the Angels, that's a Pussycat franchise.
Yeah, I know.
Not like the Dodgers, right?
No, the Dodgers are strong. Mike Sasha he's on the Angels because they want to be the Dodgers so bad that they had to hire Mike Sasha to try and make them more like the Dodgers. But they're not Dodgers. They're no Dodgers. Dodgers are number one, Conrad, as far as I'm concerned.
Did you play any high school sports?
I wrestled with bears. That's a big sport in Russia, is bear wrestling. So I have a bear. I don't know. I told you last week, to have bear accommodations for Yevgeny. I don't see them here. Where's my teacup pigs for Yevgeny?
You see what you did, Butcher?
Well, this is your store, so what am I supposed
I had to keep Yevgeny outside in the cage. People are probably out there getting eaten by him because you don't have bear accommodations.
That's what happened to our co-hosts, Dolly and Kurtz. They got eaten by the bear.
Well, I told you bring teacup pigs, but you didn't bring them to eat.
Oh!
He needs flesh. He needs living flesh to eat, and you don't have any, so he ate your people. Sorry.
I'm gonna miss our co-hosts,
Who's that?
Lewis and Dolly.
Well,
That explains their absence.
or maybe the Chupacabras got Lewis. So what I'm going to ask you right now is, what is? You've been wrestling for 10 years now, or 15? You said.
Off and on. I trained in 2001
Okay.
at West Coast Dojo in UIWA. It's a now defunct company. They're not around anymore, but they
That's
had
where you started.
Yes,
Okay.
I started with the Cincinnati Red. Rest in peace. God rest his soul. Great man.
Mhm.
He taught me a lot about the business. Another trainer, Johnny Himp. And then the man that was the hand. He was green at the time. He just started working matches. Samoa Joe. He's big in the business now.
Yes.
He's done big things since then. But back then he was just fresh in the business. I trained with him. You know, it was a good experience, and it was good to see my comrade go do big things in this business. It kind of motivated me to do what I'm doing now, trying to push to the next level. You know. But I worked for a couple years at the UIWA, PCW. Then I take like 6 years off because I went to Russia.
Uh-huh.
You know, I go to Siberian prison for kayfabe reasons. You know, not going to get into the Siberian prison.
Of course.
Years, you know, that's a sore spot. But yes, I came back 2010 with my brother. He brought me back into the business, and I've been going strong ever since. So I would say off and on for the last 13 years, but I would say solid 7 years in the business.
So let me ask Sasha. Sasha, are you a legal resident here in the United States?
I have dual citizenship.
Oh, yeah.
I am a Russian and American citizen.
Wow.
You know, I went to do the hard work, not like a lot of you brown people who come in here.
And I climb over the fence.
Yeah,
and
they
crawl
climb some
and
fence, they
sneak behind
they
trunks.
swim over a river, and they come into the country illegally.
Right.
You know, they try to take advantage of America, but I don't
Well,
really care.
you know, they're just trying to. They just want to live the American
I don't
dream.
blame them, you know, but America, that's not as good as they think it is, you know. They come over here, I'm sure they're like, what the fuck is this shit, you know, like, this isn't as great as I thought, you know. That's what I thought the first time I came to Hollywood, you know. In Russia, we hear all these things about Hollywood, how great it is, it's the land of milk and honey. Then I come to Hollywood and there's bums on the street, shitting and pissing and shooting up with drugs. And I'm like, this isn't what we saw on the TV, you know, it's a lot different.
I mean, the way it sounds like, it's like I'm right here talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger, living the American dream here.
I'm trying, you know. I would love to be the governor someday for your shitty state. I feel your state is almost broke. You have no water left. I feel like I could bring a lot of things to your state that you need. You know, who is your governor now? The
Jerry Brown.
Jerry Brown.
Yeah.
You know, that guy, he's fucked up. You know, he's fucked the whole state up, just like Arnold kind of fucked the state up too. But
Look at Arnold. Arnold is an actor. He loves the movies. Right now, he's making more movies now.
Yes.
So, you know, good for
and
him.
let's face it, he's Austrian. You know, what's he going to do? He's
You
stupid.
need a strong Russian.
You need a strong Russian man. We know how to run governments. You know, obviously.
Russians are very strong. They don't give up. I mean, I work at a health club, and I have some Australians and some Russian people that go over there, and they live like beasts, like there's no tomorrow.
Well,
I mean, do you train like that as well? I mean,
that's how we grow up like that, comrade. We're not pussies like you are in America, where you have everything handed to you. You have the silver spoon. In Russia, you come out of the pussy, you come out of the womb, and you're right into training. They train you right.
Very fascinated with
One
the
week
pussy,
one week in this world, and you're already training for the sambo. You train for all the Russian sports. We run up mountains. You know, we chase chickens.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you know this, but Rocky, he stole all our training methods.
Well, of course,
I've seen Rocky 4.
Yes.
Yeah, Rocky 4. He's a bastard. He steals all our training methods, and then he tries to win over our country. You know, if you could change, I can change. Anyone can change. It's all bullshit.
Speaking of Rocky, have you ever been in the ring with one of my favorite Rocky impersonators? You remember?
Oh,
Hector Canales.
I fought Hector at AWS last year.
What did you think of
he
Hector?
He tried to be Rocky. And
yes, he actually.
That's right. He mentioned that story.
He had the trunks on and everything.
He had the trunks. I had the Drago trunks though, comrade, and I beat him down like a pussy. He was done. He tried to do his fruity pink tights thing.
Yeah.
You know, I kick his ass. Then he comes out in the Rocky tights, and I kicked his ass again. And
Well, you know, no defense for Hector. I mean, he's a big guy. He's strong. He works out very well, and you know, the guy's in tremendous shape.
he's in good shape, but he's not in Sasha shape.
He's not in Sasha
He's not
shape.
in wrestler shape. He's in pretty boy shape. You know,
Okay.
he's got the pretty muscles.
Right.
He's all greased up. you know, but he doesn't have the strength that I do. I have the Russian
Oh,
strength.
no, I mean, you guys have a
natural
bear
Russian
strength. I mean, I've seen it.
you know, like I said, I train with bear, you know.
Jeez, you big grizzly.
Is there anybody you didn't like being in the ring with? Not because you hate them, but
Yeah, a little bit more clarified. Be more, you know.
Well, it's
Well,
a tough question.
it could
I
be
don't
because you
want
hate
to
'em.
bury anybody, but you know, it's. I didn't like wrestling my brother because he's very strong, he's very stiff, and he gave me a bloody eye. You know, it's hard to wrestle your brother too. You know, like I don't want to hurt him, but he's an asshole and he wants to hurt me. So he's my big brother. He wants to make me feel like a pussy. So, you know, he kicked my ass a few times. So it's hard to wrestle my brother.
Sasha, let me ask you this: did you have any like major injuries in the ring?
No, the worst thing I had was a couple years ago. I wrestled for remember the Sam Knight?
Yes.
Sam Knight, he had the Pro Wrestling Massive.
Mm-hmm.
We did a show to as a benefit for his father who passed away. God rest his soul. Great man, Isaac Watson.
Right.
Great man. I loved him. And we did a show for him, and we worked a match. I took a weird bump, and it kind of fucked my neck up, and you know I had a pinched nerve in my neck. My hand went numb.
Ooh.
You know, it was bad news, comrade. Like I couldn't lift on my right side for like 3 months, and I thought of you know hanging up the tights because I didn't know if I could wrestle anymore. But I went to an American doctor. Amazingly, they gave me good exercises as a physical therapy, and they diagnosed me with a really bad pinched nerve. So I get back, and I start wrestling again, and now I'm back to normal. So that's probably the worst injury was a pinched nerve. I've been lucky though. I know a lot of friends who've had very bad injuries.
Oh yeah.
You know, recently, you know, Brandon Gatson is a guy I have much respect for. We wrestle a few times. You know, we talk our shit, but you know, behind the scenes we have respect. You know, the other night I wrestled him at the EWF, and unfortunately he broke his ankle in the match. And you know, we're supposed to have a program and work for the next few months, and now he has to take time off because it was freak accident. You know, things happen in the business.
Oh sure.
You know, like he did a spinning heel kick. You know, and he hit me. I put up my arm to try and block so it doesn't hit my face, and he hit my forearm. My forearm of steel break his ankle. So different things like that, they happen all the time. You know. But it's the nature of the beast. It's what we deal with in wrestling. You
I
know?
like that. Take note of that. The nature of the beast.
do you watch more? What's your favorite wrestling show right now that you dare not to miss? Would it be WWE, Lucha Underground?
I like the Lucha Underground. Unfortunately, I always forget to tape it. You know, I have a couple comrades on that show. B-Boy, you know, we call him Uncle Benny.
Yeah.
That is my boy. He's my friend, good friend of mine. So I like to see him doing big things. You know, I love the Lucha Underground. It's a good program. I feel it's different. It's a different style, you know. My favorite company to work for or watch is probably Hood Slam. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Hood Slam up north.
Yes.
For me, that is like wrestling heaven. You know, it's like those people are my family, and it's a great place to perform and do our art for a fan base that's rabid. You know, these fans, they're crazy. You do the littlest little thing and they go nuts for it, and it's just a good place to wrestle. Good vibes there.
Would we see you on that new Freak Show Wrestling?
Freak Show, you know, I've been told by people that I should talk to Sin Bodhi about being on the Freak Show.
Oh, you'll qualify.
Yeah.
I mean, you're a freak of nature.
Yeah, well, thank you, comrade. I hope that's a compliment.
It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
Right? Okay.
You're just trying to get on its good
I
side.
was gonna go take you out to Yevgeny right now. You know, Yevgeny was going to have some dinner.
Speaking of you of the bear, Lewis is alive and well.
Oh, okay,
So
good.
I don't know about McDolly, but go ahead about Freak Show.
So Freak Show, I would like to work for them at some point. It's a little bit different than the Hood Slam, though. You know, Hood Slam it's more like video games, comic book characters. Freak Show just seems a little weird to me.
It's like more like gimmicking.
Very gimmicky. Hood Slam's very gimmicky, but like they have the gimmick, the marijuana. I don't know if you're familiar with the gimmick. That's what we could call it, the gimmick.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's a party atmosphere. You know, the fans are partying, the wrestlers party. it's a good time for everybody. Freak show, and I don't think it's the same, quite the same, but I wouldn't mind. You know, I'd never say never. You know, if Sinbody wants to talk to me and get me on there, I'd be willing to try.
Recently, I just met Sinbody, and he's like the nicest guy ever.
Very nice guy.
Sweetheart. He's like, yeah, that's a pussycat right there.
Yeah,
I mean that as a good way.
Maybe, yeah. I wouldn't call him a pussycat. He's a strong man. He's got the strange gimmick, but I like the guy. You know, I have nothing bad to say about this Sinbody.
What about Lucha Vavoom?
I would love to see Lucha Vavoom. I've never been to a show. I've heard good things. You know, I think a lot of the things that Hood Slam started off as was taking a page out of Lucha Vavoom's book. It's a variety show. You know, it has more than just wrestling. It has the burlesque. It has, you know, the pretty ladies dancing and the different weird characters. It seems like a good place, though. They're doing good business, so that's always good for the business. I always like seeing companies do well. I would love to work for them because they pay good money. You know, that's what it's all about, is making money, you know. But Lucha Vavoom I would love to see it someday because it seems like they have a good thing going.
Now let me ask you, how do you feel when you have regular people that don't watch wrestling, and some that do, but they like to say the word fake? How does that stir you up?
It bothers me, comrade, because they don't really understand what they mean by fake. You know, like they talk shit about wrestling being fake, but they don't realize that every TV show they watch is fake. Mm-hmm. Every single TV show is fake. It's scripted. You know, the outcome is predetermined for all TV shows. So to say wrestling is bad because it's fake, it's kind of hypocritical, if that's the right word, because it's all entertainment. It's all there for you to enjoy. It's just it's a storytelling. You know, that is the essence of wrestling, is storytelling. You know, you're out there, you're trying to take people out of their normal everyday lives. You know, it's a distraction from the norm, and that's what you have to get lost in the stories. You know, the stories, the characters. That is what wrestling is. And if people want to say it's fake, whatever, you know, like, but the injuries, they're real. You know, the contact with the punches and stuff, a lot of it. I don't know if you know this, but a lot of them are real punches. I could show you chips in my teeth from punches in the face. Mm-hmm. You know, this isn't for pussycats. You know, last night I was at the Santino Brothers, and they have a new crop of 30 new trainees, and a lot of these guys, I don't think they know like how much pain goes into wrestling. You know, that's what I like to see is new students, because you go watch them and they're almost shocked at how much pain they're in.
Oh, sure.
Because this shit isn't for pussies, you know.
No,
this shit, it's for, you know, you have to be tough. You have to have thick skin. You have to be able to work through injuries. You have to train hard. You have to be trained like an athlete. You know, you can't be stupid to do wrestling. You have to be smart. You have to. There's so many different skills that go into being a wrestler. You have to act. You have to be able to physically do it. You know, there's so many skills that you have to have. And for people to just dismiss it because it's fake, I think is bullshit. It means they're just trying to talk shit because they don't know. They don't know what wrestling really is.
Well, that's why I still call it sports entertainment, because it is a sport. You are one-on-one with an individual, and you know it's the practice, it's the sacrifice, and then you know shit happens. You know, unfortunately, we did have maybe a couple of wrestlers that have died in the ring. Ted DiBiase's stepfather passed away in the ring of a heart attack. Then we all know about Pedro Aguayo.
Mm.
And then you know there's accidents that you see, and sometimes when I watch like WWE or even to some of the indie shows, and if I see a certain bump, I know that person got hurt, but they're still okay. But what bothers me is that when they say, you know, in Spanish, like, you know, oh, es mentira, you know, it's fake, and I'm like, well, let me put it like this: these guys, they get concussions. Sometimes they'll get a cracked rib, or you know, busted lip constantly, or teeth, or you know, it's just it comes with the package. It comes with the fun with it. But at the same time, there's some even permanent damage there too.
Oh yeah, you know, look at all the wrestlers like the Iron Sheik. You know, the guy can barely walk because of all the bumps he's taken. Mm-hmm. You know, anybody who wants to say it's fake, I challenge them. Go to your nearest wrestling school, get into the ring, and take a bump and then tell me it's fucking fake. It's not fake.
No.
That shit hurts. I don't like to bump. It fucking hurts. But I do it because this is what I love. You know, this is what I want to do. I was born to entertain people. That is what I feel is my place in the world, is to entertain. And that's why I sacrifice my body for the greater good, for the people to have entertainment, to take them out of their shitty lives. Because none of us, let's face it, comrade, life is hard. It hits us hard. None of us are rich and famous now, you know. But people need that escape from that daily life, the paying the bills, you know, that fucking hamster wheel that life is. They need that escape from that shit, you know, and that's what we provide as wrestling. So you want to call it fake, you know, fuck you. Go into a fucking ring and take a bump and tell me it's fucking fake.
And they're
Come take a punch
I like
from
how he
me.
says pussy.
Come take a punch from me and then tell me that it's fake. You know, that's what I say to those people.
Well, you know, I took a bump once, and I still feel it to this day. 'Cause, you know, and that's why I tell people when they tell me, oh, we got some people come in here, they'll say, oh, you saw this fake stuff? And I tell them, you know what, I stepped in the ring, I just let myself fall, and it's the worst pain in the world that I think I
If
ever
you
had.
don't know how to fall, it's going to fuck you up.
And I'm lucky I didn't bump my head because I heard I could have had a bad.
It's no natural
concussion.
reaction. I mean, everything that you do in the square circle is no natural reaction because your body, you're putting it into a kind of like an acrobat, and the same time acrobat, but at the same time you are putting your body into punishment.
Yeah, you have to go against your body's natural instinct. Your body's natural instinct is to avoid pain, to avoid, you know, getting hurt. But when you're in the ring, you have to throw caution to the wind and just do it, you know, and you have to just fight through that pain. And the bumps, I know you said it was really painful. In the beginning, it fucking sucks. You wake up the next day, you can't fucking move, you know. But your body is an amazing thing. You get used to it. Your body becomes accustomed to it, and with time the bumps are less and less painful. But it is not fake. It's not fake.
Now, here's a good example. I mean, I've seen a lot of your matches, and when he's with an opponent, his guy, you know, he's got fur, he's got fur, and he's Caucasian, but when they chop his ass, you can still see the hand marks on him. And then sometimes you get like a little blood splatter coming out.
A lot of times they break the skin, you know. I'm lucky.
Your hairs fall off.
I'm lucky I have the padding on my chest.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are jealous after the match because my chop is. I wouldn't want to take my chop, but you know they chop me and they're like, you have the padding. It's no fair. But hey, God blessed me with beautiful hair on my chest, so thank God for that.
Let me ask you, besides yourself, who has the hardest chop that you felt, and you'd be like, oh.
I would say there's three men that
have one too.
Three men had the hardest chops. The first was Big Ugly. Do you know who Big Ugly is? He's a wrestler up north. He's been around for a long time. He's trained a lot of men up north. He has a gnarly chop. It's very strong. I felt it for days. There was a handprint for days after I wrestled him. Willie Mack. I don't know if you've ever heard Willie Mack's chops. They sound like a fucking shotgun. I cringe every time I see someone take a chop because I know how it feels. And then my comrade, Che has brutal chops. It makes me glad I'm his tag partner because I've only taken them a few times, you know. Back when he first started and he was under a different name, I wrestled him and his chops are bad. And then I have a tryout with the WWE, and we wrestled for our tryout match.
Yes.
So I take a few of his chops, and I was like, no more. I'm done. I'm done, Che. No more chops.
This is a couple of years back for me. I was in a ring training with Lucha Machine. Lucha Machine, his hand, I mean, it may not look like he's the type that will give a good chop. That one made my eyes pop out, and I was just like,
he's rough. He was very snug, as we call in the business. He's a snug guy.
Oh my goodness, dude! I've never felt anything.
You ever take a forearm from him? His forearms are even worse. He almost knocked off my teeth with his forearm.
So how did the tryout with WWE go?
It went very well. I got good feedback from William Regal. The ref in the match gave us good feedback. I feel like it will lead to something else. Che already had another tryout in Orlando. So the Revolution, we are on the map for WWE. Hopefully it works out for us. But, I train with Brian Kendrick, and he's doing big things for me. Hopefully with his help, I can get in, and you'll be seeing me on TV someday, comrades.
That was the question I was going to ask you. Is with all the accomplishment from when you started to right now, what is the major goal as a pro wrestler?
The goal is money. I want
Typical Russian.
He loves our money.
I want to take your American money home and buy a big house in Russia.
and go share it to Putin, huh?
Yeah, Putin, I'll invite Putin over. We have some rats over at our parties. We have big party in Russia. But yes, the big goal is just to travel the world. I want to see the world. I've seen, Russia. I've seen United States. I've seen Mexico. But I really want to get out to other countries and see what else is out there. That's my big goal.
To wrestle as well?
Yes, that's the goal with wrestling. I want wrestling to pay my bills and travel me around the world. Kind of like my comrade Kendrick is doing right now. He's been all over. This past year, he's been in Europe. He's been to Australia. He's in Israel right now. The guy's doing great things. He's a great man too. He's done a lot of things for me. He taught me a lot of things I didn't learn when I was training in the beginning. He's a great man. He trains the Eva Marie. I don't know if you guys see that.
Actually, the show starts today, right?
Yes, today. I think.
Today starts today. And
tune in, comrades. Watch Eva Marie train with Kendrick. The man he's excellent trainer.
You see Eva Marie. I saw clips, and she seems more confident in the ring now.
No, it's because of Kendrick.
Yeah, I saw
he brings that type of confidence, because he's done it all. He's done everything in this business, and he's such a down-to-earth man, and he's able to connect with people on a level that most people cannot do, And I feel like he did that with Eva. He brought out her confidence because she's an athlete. I don't know if people know this. She was a soccer player in college, and he was telling me when he's training her how natural she is. She's picking up all the moves very well. She's doing great, and he said, she's going to be on another level than other divas, because.
Well, who's going to disagree with you about that?
Oh, he's a hater.
He's a hater. He's one of those guys.
Because she's pretty, right?
Yeah.
Because she's a model and she's pretty. But
he figured he's not going to carry like Trish Stratus, and I'm like, dude, come on.
Well, you guys forget Trish Stratus was a model first too, and then she came in and she was probably the best diva of all time. So that's big shoes to live up to. But Eva Marie, she has the athletic background. She's beautiful. She obviously can make money. WWE is investing time and effort into her. I feel she will be very successful, especially after my comrade Kendrick gave her all of his knowledge. She worked hard. He was telling me he was expecting, when WWE calls him, he was expecting 2 or 3 days a week to train her. She insisted 5 days a week. She's in there 5 days a week,
she was busting
training,
her ass.
busting her ass 5 days. I don't know if you know what 5 days of wrestling can do to your body.
Oh,
it makes you sore, and back-to-back days, it's rough. And she's a little woman, but she was
very tall.
She's skinny, She doesn't have a lot of weight to distribute the bumps and stuff, So, but she was dedicated. She put in the time. She busted her ass. I have a lot of respect for her. I was a lot like your comrade here. I was very skeptical of her, but after I hear the reports from Kendrick, she's on top of it. She's dedicated. She wants to succeed in this business. And all these bitches that talk shit about her on the Divas show, they don't know what they're in for.
Well, part of it's kind of scripted as well.
Well, yes,
just to build the audience.
It's also jealousy, though. Women, women, they never get along. They pretend like they're friends, and then behind their back they yak. The women, they can't really have friends for more than a few years, because eventually they get sick of each other and they start to bicker. You know how women are.
Now, do you have a lot of fans, female fans, of like throwing themselves to you because of your
throwing their panties at you?
Your massive Russian
I
bearskin?
have all kinds of women, people in general. You know, I get a lot of the hairy fetish creeps on
Oh.
Facebook. You know, dudes hitting me up, asking me about my hairy chest and.
Oh,
But I told you to leave him alone.
Oh.
Is that you? Is that
That's
your,
him.
It was never.
Is that your kayfabe Facebook account?
It was. He was ready to take out the boxes and throw them right now.
Oh
but-
no, comrade. You do that, you get fed to your penny. I am not for. You know, in America, you just have the gay marriage pass. That's all fine and good. In Russia, we're not big on the gay stuff. I don't want the gay man hitting me up. Sorry, comrades, but you know, I fly straight. You know.
No wonder Engineer Roy didn't come today.
Oh, goodness. Here we go.
Well, real quick on Eva Marie, do you think she was thrown? The reason she gets a lot of hate and doubters like I am, because she was thrown into the ring too soon.
Probably she didn't pay her dues. You know, that's the problem of a lot of wrestlers have is like paying your dues is a big thing in wrestling. You have to come up the right way. You know, you have to be trained from the beginning as a green boy. You have to pay your dues. You have to be a bitch for a while. You know, that's how it is in wrestling. And she just had everything given to her because she's beautiful. You know, I think that's why people hate on her. But like I said, she put in the time with Kendrick. She's obviously dedicated. More power to her. Nobody is going to turn down that opportunity. If WWE comes to you and says, hey, here's a bunch of money, you're pretty, come on our TV show, what woman is going to say no? Nobody. So they're all just jealous. It's jealousy. They hate her because she got an opportunity early, you know. I hear stuff like she never trained in her life before they put her on TV. Never trained in wrestling. They train her, everything she do that day, they train her that day. You know, and a lot of people that pisses them off because, you know, like me, I've been around forever. You have guys and women in the business over a decade. They've never gotten a sniff of the opportunity she has. So of course people are going to be pissed, but she is doing everything in her power to take to the next level and be worthy of that opportunity. So good for her.
I ain't gonna lie. Now that I know she's trained 5 days a week and that she's that ambitious, I do expect big things out of her, and I am looking forward. I have actually, since the Diva previews, I've been looking forward to her debuting because I want to see this character, and I have a feeling, you know, with the red hair and everything, she could be the next Trish.
But she's got the look. You can't
Got the
deny
look.
that.
I've never said she's not
look.
hot. She's beautiful.
But she's the thing with women's wrestling that I have a problem with sometimes is these women, they have no athletic ability. Their strikes look like shit. They don't look like real strikes. You have to make the striking is the most important part of wrestling, because if you can't sell people on your strikes, why are they going to care about your spots or your moves? Because they already know it's bullshit. When you see a shitty strike and it exposes the business, it to the casual fan, they're looking for that. They're looking for there to be fakeness so they can go, oh look, it's fake. You know, so women's wrestling, a lot of women, they aren't dedicated to their craft. They aren't dedicated to making it look real. They aren't dedicated to taking the pain of a real strike. You know, it's all pussycat striking. And as far as women's wrestling goes, we need more athletic women. And Eva Marie, she's an athletic woman. From all the things I've seen of her, she picked up the wrestling. She's going to be good. And I expect the world of her. She's going to be Divas champion within 2 years. I guarantee it.
You know, when it comes to women, Sasha could talk about these women. I mean, it's just
Let me ask him. Are we gonna see you in the ring with any?
You know,
is there a woman on the scene right now that you would like to be in the ring with?
The woman that took my spot last week, Reyes, if you're listening, you take my spot. Now we get in the ring. We see if you're down, comrade.
I don't know. I'm gonna warn you. That spear.
Hey, I've taken worse spears, comrade.
She might take the fur off you.
Yeah, hey, let's do it. I'm down. Let's do it. But in all seriousness, Reyes, I'll put her at the top of the women because she trains hard. She trains with Santino's. Santino's is legit. If you go through Santino's, you're fucking ready. I've seen them train. They train fucking hard, you know. And she is dedicated, and she works hard on her craft. She loves wrestling.
She does.
You know, she's not one of these weekend warrior women who are like, oh, I want to see if I can wrestle. You know, no. She's a strong bitch.
Well, it's just like my Russian friend here. That you bust your ass for what we're hearing. But the thing I want to ask you now, did you box?
No, never boxed.
Really?
I should have. You know, I probably could have done big things like Klitschko.
The reason why I asked, because I think it was a couple of years ago, we were in a battle royal, and you had some boxing gloves on. What was that deal?
That I was doing Drago. It was the it was the Halloween show for Santino's, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. I was doing the Drago gimmick. I spray my hair blonde. I sprayed my chest hair blonde. I come out with the boxing gloves.
Well, you know what? Because I took a goat head. I took a goat head with me, but I was like, how is he going to hold himself in the ring if he's got boxing gloves?
Well, Comrade, I don't know if you ever played the Dragon Punch video game where you punch and it shows your strength.
Mm-hmm.
I punch hard, Comrade. At the Battleground Pro Wrestling, we have a Dragon Punch machine. I was Dragon Punch champion.
Oh
Nobody could punch harder than Sasha. So, you know, maybe I should have boxed because I could have knocked some pussycats out and made some big money.
Is there any heavyweight belt title that you would like to win?
Every belt, Comrade. I want all the gold.
You want all the gold?
All the gold. You know.
And then take it to Russia and then
take
never
it to
bring
Russia
it back.
and never bring it back. Sell it at the pawn shop. Here's a Pussycat American belt. Give me money, you know.
It's all about the money.
It's all about the money. That's all I care about is money. You know, around here, I would say the EWF Heavyweight Championship. It is a recognized world championship. I would love to take that from Mike Mays. I've had a few matches with him. I feel like I could beat him. You know, he weaseled out because the ref is for USA, you know, but if we ever cross paths again, I will take that belt home. You know, the AWS belt is another one. I feel like I've beaten Willie Mack before. I don't know if you saw my match with Willie at AWS. I beat him 1, 2, 3, fair and square in the middle of the ring. No bullshit. So I feel like I could beat Willie. I've beat Rico Dynamite. I'm 1-0 against Rico. I beat him in 6 minutes, you know.
Oh my goodness,
yeah,
Rico Dynamite.
6 minutes I beat Rico Dynamite, and he's afraid to put his title on the line.
Rico's one of the toughest dudes.
He's a tough man, but still, I beat him. I beat him in 6 minutes, you know.
Well,
so, yes, all the belts. I want them all.
You want all? Well,
we see you in the ring with my friend, Mariachi Loco.
He's ducking me, comrade. And he's the,
Mariachi, come on.
He's lightweight champion, you know. I don't wrestle the skinny men, you know. I'm a big man. I wrestle heavyweights. It wouldn't be fair if I wrestle Mariachi Loco, you know.
Does his dancing get on your nerves?
You know, there's a place for dancing, you know. In Russia, dancing is a big thing, so I'm all for the dancing. But when you're in the ring with me, comrade, if you dance, you're going to end up eating your meals through a straw.
I heard, you know what?
I love mariachi.
When I went to go see the show on the 20th with Big Rick's over in Los Angeles, Mariachi performed. I mean, he was wrestling, but then after that, at the end of the show, Big Rick danced with them. And, you know, Big Rick's a big dude. I mean, he's like a powerhouse. He's like about, what, 3 plus at least? How much do you weigh, if you don't mind asking?
I weigh 225 pounds, right on the line of the heavyweight, lightweight line.
Wow, so you could just...
I can wrestle anybody, but I would rather give the lightweights their time. You know, that's their division. I don't want to invade on their space. I would beat them all, so it wouldn't be fair.
What's the biggest guy you ever wrestled?
The bear.
Well, besides the bear, I'm talking human.
Oh, sorry.
The biggest man I ever wrestled. Oh, that's a tough question. I would say probably one of the Haystacks. He's a big man, yes. I'm trying to think. You know, it's been a long time.
What about Big Hoss? You know,
Hoss is big. Yes,
Hoss is a big boy. He's young. He's very powerful. I mean,
he's lost weight though. He's lost weight. He was.
I haven't seen him in a while, but
yeah, he's training hard too. I was training with him last night at Santino's. That boy's got some talent. And I don't know. I know he looks like he's 40 years old, but that man's young. He's 20 years old.
He's like a freight train when I see him.
He's fresh in the business. He's hungry. He's going to do big things. So Haas is good. Another big man I wrestle is Jody Christopherson. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yes.
He's Chris Christopherson's son. He was signed to WWE, and he hit me with a forearm. It felt like I got hit by a freight train.
Oof.
I black out for a second, you know. But those will probably be the biggest guys. I'm trying to think of others. I try not to get in the ring with guys who are out of shape because I don't want them to die in the ring of heart attacks, you know. I've wrestled some men before who have no cardio, you know, and it isn't a good combo because they just...
How does that make you feel when you're in there with someone that doesn't have enough cardio?
It pisses me off, comrade, because I bust my ass to be in the shape of my life, you know, to be able to go and put on a great performance for the people. You know, sometimes I get these weekend warriors, they think they're strong men, they say they're in the gym, but they only work the biceps and the chest. They never do cardio. So they get in the ring and they shit out after 5 minutes. You know, they're huffing and puffing and telling me to take it home.
Yes.
You know, I'm a champion up north. I wrestled this man, you know, and he couldn't hang. You know, 7 minutes in, he's saying, take it home. And I'm like, no, it's time for heat on you, you know. I put the heat on you. And so he couldn't kick out because he was so blown up. You know, it's bullshit because I am an athlete. I take this serious, you know. I do a lot of cardio. I fucking bust my ass. I'm in the gym. I'm working all my muscles, not just my show muscles, you know. Some of these guys, they say they're in the gym, but they work the chest and the biceps and they go home and they take their selfies.
Well, one thing for sure about you, you're very technical. You can go. You can brawl. Do you do any major high-risk maneuvers like luchadors, like flying in the ring?
You know, sometimes when it calls for it, you know, like my style, I like to ground and
It's
pound.
not very often. I mean, it's not very. You will see a big giant dude do some of these crazy moves.
I have the athleticism to do the big moves, but you see that big moves are big risks.
Right.
You know, you go for a big move, you miss it, it could mean the end of the match. You know. I do flying elbow drop sometimes. It's kind of flashy. That's like the Macho Man. He's a big influence on me. I can do the springboards like the spot monkeys do, you know, but I choose not to. I feel like it's better to ground and pound. Just that it's no bullshit.
Ground and pound. Look at those little pork. I love it.
No bullshit.
Pussy and ground and pound.
That's what I ground and pound the pussy. That's what I do. But I feel like it's more effective just to ground and pound the pussycats. You know, it's easier. It's less risky. You know, it's less of a toll on my body, and it leads to victory. So if it works, don't fix it. You know.
Sasha, are you planning to stay in California for a while, or do you have any? I mean, I understand. You know, there's might be a big opportunity in the future. Hopefully, willing. But are you planning to move anytime soon?
I would love to get to the East Coast, you know, like I would love to, if I, you know, get the NXT contract, I would love to go to Orlando and do those things. You know, the East Coast is a good spot for wrestling, you know. There's a rabid fan base on the East Coast that I feel like I could exploit and make lots of money from. So the East Coast would be great, Japan, Europe, you know, but California is my home right now in America. It is a place I've come accustomed to. You know, I love your Dodgers. It is
But you still can't get a tan because you're so freaking pale.
You know, like it's hard to be in the sun for too long for me. You know, it's too hot. I'm used to cold, so I stay indoors and I crank up the AC. So it's like the Russia. You know, it's like I have to be cold.
Yes.
That's why he wears the Dodger jacket.
Yeah, I mean, look at it.
We're sweating. He's comfortable.
He's
with
very
the
comfortable.
Dodger jacket. Let me ask you: is there somebody in WWE? Well, if you get that NXT contract, either NXT or WWE that you would like to feud with, that you already can see, like, I would like to.
I never got one
do
for you.
something with.
Well, you know, I'd like to beat up Rusev.
Right.
Rusev trying to be a Russian. You know?
Rusev, but you know what? I would love to see, I mean, I'm already having a dream match in my head right now with Cesaro.
Oh, Cesaro is great, my friend. Yes.
I can see a little resemblance here.
I feel like my style is a lot like Cesaro.
Yes,
you know,
definitely.
Like I admire his work. I heard he had a great match with Cena last night.
Yeah.
I didn't see it yet.
It was awesome.
His
I
match
was like,
last week with Cena was
Yes,
great.
this week was great too.
it was
have to
it was
watch it.
actually like a main event.
I have it on the DVR. I have to watch it.
Don't. You can skip everything.
You
except
know,
that.
that's a guy I feel like they've really dropped the ball with, is Cesaro. That guy, he's great. He's talented in the ring. He could go with anybody. You know, his mic skills are but so's Roman Reigns, and they're pushing him to the moon. You know, Cesaro, he has all the tools that in the ring that you need. He's just great, and I love to see him wrestle. So that's great. That would be a great match for me. I love Cesaro.
Europeans got that freakish strength. I don't get it.
Oh, he showed it yesterday. You have to definitely watch
I have
that.
to watch.
Yeah.
Don't
Okay,
spoil it.
No,
Don't spoil it.
watch it.
How about Lucha Underground? Somebody in Lucha Underground?
I would like to fight Morrison. Because he's the type of pussycat that I hate.
Oh.
You know, the pretty boy with the pretty abs.
Well, you know, you could come by Sunday.
You could come by
or
July
Saturday.
19th, and
Oh, is he doing the podcast?
he's doing the signing here at the
Oh,
store.
wow. I should come and curb stomp him. You know, maybe that will be my foot in the door for Lucha Underground.
Have you heard anything from Lucha Underground? Have you tried out for Lucha Underground?
They had a web series they were going to do, and they asked, you know, they called me for a tryout for the web series, and then their sponsor fell through, so they didn't end up doing the web series. So I'm kind of on the radar. You know, I've talked to Big Rick, who's one of their talent scouts. I gave him my business card. You know, I have loose contact with a few people there, so someday, hopefully, you know, they're more into the lucha though. They want the masked wrestlers. They're big into the lucha libre. I'm not as versed in the lucha. I can work the lucha, but if you saw me at LCW, I pretty much just beat up luchadors. I don't really do this flippy fly shit, you know. But I would love to work there. Why not? You know, it's a great exposure. It's good money. You know, there's a lot of my friends are there, so I would love Lucha Underground to give me a call. So yeah, if you're listening, Lucha Underground, call me.
Can we see you in the ring with Big Rick? You said you like to take on the big guys.
I do like fighting big men. You know, it's a challenge to fight the big man. I would like to wrestle Big Rick. I don't think he's as big as people think he is. I'm taller than him, so I have the leverage. I think I could take him out. You know.
Big Rick, if you're listening.
You have my business card, Rick. Call me.
I think he's right there just giving you a stare down right now. He's like, say what?
Let me another question for you from Curse, who's alive. He didn't get eaten by the bear. I don't know about Dolly.
Who?
Kurt Lewis. He's
Oh.
alive. He said, "What's your favorite kind of vodka?"
My favorite vodka. That's a good one. I like the Grey Goose. You know, that's a good American vodka. It's a little pricey. You know, Stolichna is good vodka. You know, it's good Russian vodka. I'm more of a, believe it or not, I'm more of a whiskey guy these days. I kind of got burned out on the vodka. I drank it all when I started drinking vodka. I was 5 years old. You know, we start young in Russia, so I kind of got a taste for the brown liquor, like the Jack Daniels. A big favorite at our battleground after parties was the Honey Jack. I was big on the Honey Jack. If you ask Grace, she knows all about the Honey Jack. We had lots of good times with the Honey Jack.
You're a big guy. What's your diet?
My diet.
Your workout, your diet, to keep yourself in great shape.
In the morning, I usually start the day with some light breakfast, like a banana, some yogurt. You know, I have like 3 breakfasts. That's how, because I love the breakfast food. You know, I start with yogurt and banana to just get my stomach going. I go for, you know, eggs and bacon, maybe some pancakes or waffles for the carbs. I drink a lot of protein shakes, a lot of tuna, a lot of chicken, a lot of beef, just as much
pure high protein here.
as much protein as possible, comrade. That's what you need. Lean protein is the way to go in wrestling, because you have to look good. And I walk around in Speedos, for God's sake. You know, like, I have to look good for the ladies in the Speedos.
I'm just curious. Do you mind? I just want to test the strength with you. Do you mind, real quick?
You want to do?
I want to feel the power.
You want to
the
feel
Russian bear power.
Okay.
You know what happened the last time?
You just
arm
stay out of
wrestled?
it this time. Here, look at it. Just so you can feel it.
Oh, you're going to put the furry hat
I
on,
put the
huh?
furry hat on. See,
Let's
just
see.
so you can feel
Just in
it.
case everybody's listening,
Because
we have an arm wrestling match here between the Butcher and Sasha.
You watch the mic. I don't want to.
Okay.
break it.
So
I'm gonna move the mic.
move the mic, and then now I want to test this guy's strength because he's impressive. And after hearing his diet, we're gonna dance right now.
Let's do
Let
this.
me know when you're ready.
I'm ready now.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right.
Let's go.
Here we go. Oh, and the Butcher is down.
See, comrade.
Oh, oh!
Sorry, Butcher. You're 0-2.
And you know what? Shut your mouth. Oh, and 2.
No, not bad. Not bad for an American. You know? Remember, like I say, we get popped out of the pussy and we start training right away. So
Here's the deal. This cat is no joke. He is a strong fucker. There you have it. He is a strong fucker.
I think you are right. He might resemble Cesaro.
You know what?
a
You know
little
what?
bit.
I have this good buddy named Sergey. He's Russian. He's a powerhouse. I mean, he is bulky and strong, and just by touching his arm, and I'm just like, I just want to taste this. I just want to feel your strength.
that's that Russian strength.
It's that Russia. Russia. There you have it.
Do you want to let everybody know where they can catch you this month?
This month, mainly Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. We got the Red Carpet Rumble. I'm going to humble Che in the Rumble and probably try to throw him out just to put him in his place. That's my goal, is to throw Che out. So, Che, I'm coming for you, comrade. It's all in good fun, Tough love for you for making us lose. But, Cuba, I have to put you in your place, Cuba, because Russia is still stronger than you. So, Red Carpet Rumble on Sunday. I've got EWF. I don't really have any dates in my mind right now, but I'm at EWF a lot. Hoot Slam. I'm trying to get up to Hoot Slam again very soon. What else? AWS. I tried to get on AWS, but Bart's kind of a kayfaber. He's only got a couple shows left, unfortunately.
You never know. He may make a big return back.
I really hope so.
I hope so too.
I have to put over Santino Brothers. They're probably the best school in SoCal. Mm-hmm. So they have the shows. I'm on there every once in a while. So watch out for me on that show. What else? It's so many, comrade. SoCal Pro. I just debuted for SoCal Pro. I went in their tournament, took the Summer Classic. That's down in San Diego. I've got the FCW in San Diego, Finest City Wrestling. I will be wrestling Swede Thompson in September. Hopefully Mike Camden too, but he's hurt right now. Let's see what else. I really want to get down to Mexico and wrestle a little bit more. Let's see what else. Action Coast Empire when we come back, of course, because I'm the champion there. That's pretty much it that I can think of. I'm trying to get out to Vegas, but the promoters out there are kind of kayfabers. Mm-hmm. That the Joe DeFalco, he doesn't return my calls because he's one of those promoters, like I said earlier. He's got his boys, and he knows I'm better than them, so he doesn't want me to emasculate them. I'm the alpha, so I come in, I would stomp them all and take the belt. So I think he's afraid of that. He's afraid of me getting too over with the fans.
Have you been a face?
No, I've never been the baby face. I don't know if it would work.
Does that look like a baby face?
No.
Nikolai Volkov was a baby face for a little while.
Yeah, after when they tell
Would
me
you do a baby face?
If people wanted to see me as a baby face, if they want to cheer me, go for it.
We got weird fans because they cheer.
It depends. Like some companies, like AWS, they like to cheer the heels.
Yes.
I would never ever, I don't think, be a clear-cut babyface though. I just don't wrestle that style. I'm not the flashy guy when I'm in the ring. I'm down to business, no bullshit. But maybe never say never. Maybe I go to Disneyland. I like it so much that I become a babyface.
He's a big Disneyland guy here.
Yeah.
We'll go on Space. No, wait. Never
Space
mind.
Mountain,
Space
oldest ride, longest line.
Right? Do you want to plug your Facebook and your Twitter?
Sure, you could find me on Facebook. It's just search Sasha Darevko. The Twitter at Sasha Darevko. I have the Instagram at Sasha Darevko. Just search Sasha Darevko and shit will pop up. I've got the YouTube channel under Sasha Darevko. I've got their website, darevko.com. You can usually find some of my best matches on there. But the YouTube is a big place. You can see all of my matches. I have many fans that they've put together like packages of my matches. They have like channels dedicated to me. So just search Sasha Darevko wherever, any social media. Search Sasha Darevko, you'll find me.
Real quickly, and I promised a couple of guys they wanted to know a wrestling school here in Southern California, and I told them they can check out SantinoBrothers.net. Great school. You can even Google it. That's the first thing that's going to pop out. But what would you advise to these young comers, teenagers, to even under 20s? What would you advise them if they want to become a pro wrestler? You as a Russian young man growing.
There are great schools around here. I'm not going to say anybody's the best. I said Santino's might be the best. They have probably the best track record right now. You look at all the promotions around here, they all have Santino guys working for them. That's no mistake. You know, they put out great wrestlers. All those men, they're great. And the School of Hard Knocks, the EWF school in San Bernardino, it all depends on where you're coming from. If you're in the San Bernardino Inland Empire area, go to the EWF. If you're here in LA, I say go to Santino Brothers. You know, if you're in the Valley, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood has a school.
True.
You know, just it's all
And I
depends.
think Sambudi's having a seminar as well.
Yes, is that right? I didn't know.
Yeah,
that.
he's having a seminar too. So I mean, that's also for pro wrestlers that are in the business. They please go check them out, support these guys.
Usually, the seminars are best for guys who are already wrestling because you're going to learn knowledge, like advanced knowledge that the advanced wrestler has.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to start from scratch, any of those schools I just mentioned, School of Hard Knocks, San Bernardino, Bell Gardens is Santino Brothers. If you're in the Valley, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, you know, those are all great schools. Brian Kendrick's school, of course, he's at Santino's. You know, he has his spot at the Santino Brothers. That's where I train right now with Brian Kendrick.
But didn't you say that he's in Israel right now, or?
He's in Israel for the next 2 weeks. He will be back in 2 weeks. But he has a new class starting July 20th. If I go to SantinoBrothers.net, it has all the details. If you want to wrestle with Brian Kendrick, he's a great trainer. You know, I can't say enough good things about that man. He's made me into the wrestler I am today. You know, I wouldn't be who I am without him. A great friend too. Great person all around. You know, you will benefit just from knowing him more than just wrestling. Just on the personal level, he's my comrade. So I have to put him over big time. You know, he's done everything there is to do in wrestling, and who better to learn from than somebody who's done everything?
That's pretty much.
But yeah, the good thing about the SoCal scene is there's a lot of good schools to learn from.
Sure. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Did you want to say something before?
I was going to ask him real quick. Is there any wrestler you stepped into the ring with that kind of left you kind of starstruck, like, can't believe I'm in the ring with this guy?
Oh, the first time I wrestled Kendrick, you know, like it was just kind of a freak thing. It was at he runs his own shows at Wrestling Pro Wrestling. He was supposed to wrestle somebody, they pulled out, and I came up to him. I was like, "You want to wrestle me, comrade? How about me?" And he said, "Sure, let's do it." And I was just like beside myself because I saw when I started was when he pretty much started. I saw his whole career unfold, you know, and then now I'm his close friend, and now I'm wrestling him, you know. Another guy, I just wrestled Gangrel not too long ago, you know, for SinCal Pro. That's another company. SinCal Pro in San Luis Obispo.
Gangrel's a big dude.
He's a big guy, big guy, and he's scary, you know. He's got the vampire gimmick. I don't want him to suck my blood, you know. Stay away from my neck, comrade. I don't swing that way, you know. Gangrel is a great guy. I wrestled, you know, I wrestled Mustafa Saeed, who is in ECW with the Gangsters, you know. I've been fortunate to wrestle mainly good wrestlers, you know. I would love to step in the ring with Samoa Joe, my old training comrade, you know.
Well,
that would be a dream of mine to get to that level.
That might happen next year. You never know.
I hope so, comrade. That would be a dream match for me.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this before we lock up right now. You have a tremendous resume. I had the privilege of being in the Battle Royal with you twice, and it was a lot of fun. And getting hit by a chain, cheater. But
hey, if the ref doesn't see, it's all legal.
But I wish you all the best, and I hope that big opportunity comes for you and kick ass.
Thanks, comrade.
Because
I
you know what,
appreciate
you
it.
are very enjoyable to watch, to cheer and boo. So thank you, man.
Thank you for the rub, comrades.
Yeah,
I appreciate the podcast. I always enjoy doing these podcasts. They're fun for me. I get to talk about what I love, which is wrestling. This is my life. This is what I do. So for people to want to hear what I have to say about the business, it's very humbling.
Well, this is why I like doing the podcast, because I like I told him before we came on the air, I'm new to all this, and I don't know anything that goes on yet, and I'm still learning, and I love to hear everything and learn about everybody, and so I thank you for coming on. I
No
learned
problem.
a lot,
Anytime.
especially you stay away from the bear, okay, Butchie?
I'm just going to say, are you going to share some of that vodka with us?
He looks pretty hungry out there.
I
don't
think
know.
you know what? I'm gonna feed you to the bear right now.
Oh.
Well,
The bear might take some shots of vodka too. Yevgeny's very, he loves the vodka.
I'm gonna show once we get up here. I'm gonna show you a picture of our co-host who's not here. He has a special picture for you.
Oh, right on. Sounds good, comrades.
But I'd like to say for Sasha, Butchie, thank you very much, guys, and we are.
All right, yeah.